This your girl, T Brown Media. We're here with Kassim.
Kassim, what's good?
So, starting off, your name. Is it your real name or is it just your rap name?
Yeah, so it's actually my real name. My rap name used to be KO. And it just didn't work because I would Google my name and just see World Star fights and like Street Fighter fights, and just I was like, that's not my energy, you know what I mean? And like on the 15th page it would be like my new song, so I was like, all right. And then shout out to Hassani, he's in 20 Never, and he's one of my best friends. He's like, yo, you should just go with your own name. And so I just went with Kassim.
Shout out to him.
Shout out to Hassani. He's real.
Is Hassani the one that did Navy Blue?
Yes.
Whoa, okay.
Incredible.
Shout out to that. That
Shout
whole moment.
It changed my life.
Like seeing that on Adult Swim, I was just like, wow. Like that was amazing for you guys.
Yeah.
And the song is so good.
Thank you. Shout out to Hassani. Pretty much that song got discovered by like Odd Future, and then it was on like the Tyler show. And then from there, we got to go to like Golf Media, and then from there, go to Camp Vlog. And then like the whole experience, like I'm just like, yo, this is one song. Like, you know, we were just talking about the Pina Colada.
Yes, we were just saying that one song can change your life.
Yo, and so like at the time, I was like, I just finished college, and everybody wanted me to get a job. I didn't want to get a job, and I was like, that's cool, but like, yo, my friend just did this. Like my friend, like not somebody who's like famous on the internet, but like I grew up with him. Yeah. And so pretty much after that, I was just like, all right, I'm just only going to write songs that could do that. So after that, after studying like songs like that and moments like that, I came up with Kenny Powers.
Say if you don't give a fuck, get your hands up high, just finger fuck the sky. Tell the Lord you wanna fly, tell the devil he could try, but my soul will never die, ayy, never die. See, my soul will never die.
Thank you. So shout out to Navy Blue, because like that set the standard for me.
What inspired Kenny Powers?
Life hit me hard. 2016. So growing up, I'm Nigerian American, and growing up, my whole family wanted me to be a doctor. I wanted to be a rapper, but my mom really, like, poor lady, she really wanted her first child to be a doctor, and I was just like in bio class writing raps, like, and I was failing, and it was just like thousands of dollars just to like fake it till you make it, and I wasn't making it. And I was just like, who wants a C average doctor? Like, that's not fair.
Like, if you're not excelling, like, it's not for you. Like, it's just not part of your journey.
Because it's going to be somebody's life that's in my hands. And I'm just like, yo, I'm not trying to be a malpractice ass nigga.
Exactly.
So I just had to come to the grips of it, and I was just like, you know what? I switched to business, and it was like Chance the Rapper dropped Acid Rap, and he did it independently. Yes. And just watching him thrive, I was still in college. I was like, and so I switched to business. I told my mom I switched to business, and she got heated, and she kicked me out. And when she kicked me out, I moved in with my friend's boxer. And Kenny Powers took me like 2 years to like master, because the first year I finished it, then the next year, which was 2017, I didn't believe in myself.
That's self-doubt.
That self-doubt is real, because the Kenny Powers y'all heard was done September, I'll never forget this date, September 4th of 2017. It was literally done. The same one that came out on February 6th of the next year. And like, I didn't put it out because I was like, yo, this won't work. And I was averaging like 4 plays a week on SoundCloud, and like nobody was checking for me. My shows were weak. And I was just like, man, like I wish I had the attention. And like I said, watching the Navy Blue moment, I was just like, wait a minute, let me just make it. And so
like, it's possible. You can do it. You can do anything you put your mind to.
Exactly.
Period.
So Kenny Powers is just that song that changed my life, you know?
Wow.
Yeah.
So you followed that up with Camry.
Oh, yeah. So even before Camry, I dropped a song called Blindness. And we're working on a video for it, and I'm really in love with Blindness, because Blindness was a song I wrote about trusting your intuition and just like believing in yourself. I needed to write Blindness in order for me to drop Kenny Powers. So since Kenny Powers took off, I was like, yo, let me just put this out for anybody who needs it. And so Blindness was the immediate follow-up. And then after Blindness, Camry happened. And then Camry was his own thing. And I was like, yes, I need this.
I think she loved me. I think she loved me not. I think she loved me tongue-tied. I think she loved me in knots. Tangled in intangibles. What if this don't exist? And my Achilles heel is really a small cliff.
Because Camry was inspired by a heartbreak, unfortunately. Nah, but it's a beautiful thing. Because it's just like, she's a great person. It just wasn't meant to be. And in the moment, I didn't see it, male ego. So Camry was about me breaking down my male ego and understanding that, like, I have to love myself first. And I was putting so much energy towards her looking at me with value. And, like, after I wrote Camry, I was so empowered that I even reached out to her. I was like, look, like, yo, like, it's all, like, her and I were friends and I hang out with her family. Like, there's no beef. Because it's just, like, I understand that, like, she's not my soulmate. We liked each other for a moment, but it's just, like, it's all good. Let me focus on me. And I couldn't have got here without you doing what you did. So
some stuff is just for the moment. Like, it's not meant to be forever,
Exactly.
Everyone comes to your life as either a blessing or a lesson, or both, honestly.
Exactly. And she happened to be both. Like, I wouldn't even say that she wasn't. Like, I really do appreciate her and appreciate that fragment of time because it inspired Camry. And I think Camry is just going to help me and help other people put more love into themselves.
And that goes into my next question about healing. Do you find healing through your music?
Most definitely.
Because I definitely do.
Thank you. That means a lot.
Bad days.
I appreciate that. Yes. I honestly, not even trying to sound too grim, I wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for my favorite songs. High school me was very depressed and very suicidal. And, like, there was just, like, those songs that hit at that right moment.
Were you a Kid Cudi fan?
Yes, yo. I used to have a Kid Cudi bracelet in high school. But it's him, there's Kanye, there's Drake, there's the people from different generations, different sounds, like, just the idea of creating something that could live forever.
Yeah.
And I remember one of, like, the lowest moments I had was, like, 16, and I was, like, really, like, thinking, all right, how can I, like, finish this thing? And I'm so glad I didn't. And then at 17, I wrote a Grammy speech. I was like, you know what? I got to see this through.
Wow.
Yeah, because I lost my grandma that same year. And I was like, yo, I got to honor her legacy. So, like, a part of me making music was just me, like, just filling up voids. And it didn't really work for me until I got therapy in 2017. Because I had to get therapy to finish college because I really didn't want to be there. And it's a lot deeper than just getting a degree. It's like, yeah, you get the degree, but it's like there's a lot of trauma that happens with, like, not sleeping and, like, not eating right and, like, busting your ass off just to get a 70.
Yeah, you'll get to 220 pounds like Tierra.
You see what I'm saying? And everybody's like, yo, congratulations. Like, if only you knew what that congratulations.
What I went through, what I didn't want to be here no more. I didn't want to do this shit, this life shit. Didn't want to do it no more. I was off it.
I literally had to seek help because, like, what ended up happening was, like, after getting kicked out, I just felt inadequate, Yeah. And, like, my mom's words at that time felt like the thesis statements to my life, and they were never positive. So I just incorporated the negativity towards myself, and I got into alcohol hard.
Dang.
Yeah, and what ends up happening for somebody like me is everybody sees me as this peaceful person. So I never had the outlet. I was the strong friend that needed help,
Yeah.
So that's the main reason why my music today has that healing component, because it's like my empathy level is a lot different than a lot of people, because it's like, nah, I've been through the bottom. That shit sucks. So if I can help you out, let's go. Like, let's get up.
That's why I'm always fighting that, because it's the stuff I put into myself. Like, what I give out to everyone else, like the positive affirmations and stuff, it's the stuff that I'm giving myself 24/7. So I might as well spread it to you.
Me too.
You can't spread love if you don't give yourself love.
Amen. It's like straight up, amen. That's the Bible. That's the verse. Like, amen. One of the things I do is I embrace how I feel on the spot.
You gotta feel your feelings, guys.
I used to run away from it, and that's where alcohol was so clutch. It was just like, why be sad when you could just turn up? And that shit is toxic, and you know what I mean. And it's cool to have fun. Yeah. Like, I'm not gonna say I don't take sips here and there, but it was just like,
you can't use alcohol as a coping mechanism.
Yes, that's what it was. Instead of doing that, now I meditate.
Facts.
I read. I have great conversations. Like today, like, I just literally pulled up on one of my best friends and we just had a 2-hour conversation. Aww. Yeah. And then, like, right after this, I'm pulling up on another friend and we're having another 1 to 2 hour conversation. And it's just like, it's mutually beneficial because it's just like, one, I get to see how you're doing. 2, we just get to vent. Yeah. Because one of the things I've learned is just like, for the longest, I was venting too much in my music. And then like the only issue with venting only in your music is just like you feel naked when you expose it, because I was just like, I don't want people to know this. And I had to understand that everybody in the industry, they're human. You know what I mean?
People go through shit, and people like relatable shit. That's why I love SZA so much. She's relatable as fuck.
I love SZA. Yes, exactly. And so what I realized was like, okay, in order for me to like create the best music, one, I have to embrace how I feel. Yeah. Two, I have to actually be like a part of my community. So that's like having conversations with people and stuff like that. And then three, I just have to be honest.
How do you maintain such great energy? You glow.
It's an effort. It's an effort. And it's like,
and I feel that.
It's the simplest thing as me, like even, I'm not gonna lie. As I'm waiting at the door when I pressed the bell, I took a deep breath and I was like, yo, thank you God for this moment. Aww. Allow me to be present. And it's just 2 sentences. Like I literally do that before I perform. I'm the same way. I'm like in my head, like, you're here. People are here to hear your music. Give them a show.
Enjoy it. Yes.
Yeah, because like I said, I used to run from things.
Anxiety.
Oh yeah, and my anxiety is like really high a lot, because it's like as I'm doing well musically, I still got student loans. I still got a job I don't like. There's like certain factors I'm like I can't wait to like completely fix. But it's just the understanding that it would take one day at a time. Yeah. Just a lot of compassion for myself. You know what I mean? Because like I used to say the worst things to myself. So now that I'm like paying attention to that, I'm just like, all right, Kassim, let's switch it. Like, calm down. You know what I mean? Just
be like, you got this. It's like, it's all about switching your perception and switching your self-talk. It's like, if you can say all these bad things to yourself, why can't you say good things?
Yes.
What are your favorite things about being an artist in the DMV music scene?
Hey, I love being from here. It's home. The thing that we're doing great is we're not stepping on each other. Yeah. We all have our own sounds. We all have our own brands. We all have our own like waves.
Lanes. Everybody has your own lane.
And it's so important. It's so important. Because it's like when people were trying to get me to like, because I remember when I was rapping in high school, everybody wanted me to rap a different style. I tried it, and like you could tell. I could tell. I was like,
when it just doesn't fit.
It just didn't fit. Yeah. And I wanted to be everybody but Kassim. So it was a lot easier for people to convince me to switch my style up. But once you start owning who you are, like Mojos and the Slices, everybody who just owns them, it's just like, yo, keep doing that. So I think that's what we should do. Another thing I think we should do is we should leave our stoop. I believe in
Stoop Kid needs to leave the stoop. I'm just about this.
See the world. There's a whole world out there, and like DMV is home. DMV will forever be home. Like I'm not running away from the DMV, but I just want to see the world. And I just feel like
just bring the DMV all over the place. You know? Just share that sound with everybody.
Yeah, because we're so unique.
Yeah. Why keep it huddled up in here?
And it's not realistic. Like especially for somebody who's like me. Like I'm aiming for like world renowned,
global success.
Yeah. Like I'm not trying to just be like the neighborhood superhero. And like I said, I love this area. I really want to do sold out shows in Japan for people who don't understand English, but they know my words. I want to like build schools in my hometown in Nigeria. Like I want to do a lot of global things. Yeah. So I think like we just have to like let go of fear. That's what I was going to say. Because a lot of the anxiety from leaving is fear. Oh, like I was having a conversation.
Fear is a silent killer.
It is. Like I was having a conversation with somebody yesterday, and they were just like, they could never leave the DMV because of their mom and their uncles. And I was like, that sounds sweet, but like, that's not fair. That sounds like a prison sentence. Like there's a whole world out there waiting for you. We're so great that our culture will continue to travel and we'll bring more awareness to the area. As we bring more awareness, more people will start looking into it. I feel like it will bring more opportunities. And I feel like for everyone. And what will end up happening is like, it's a spiral effect. And I just feel like we're all going to just go like this.
Yep. Facts. How did 10 at the Door come together? Like, I love that song so much.
Whipping like I'm Ricky Bobby. Talladega through the night, babe. Ooh, I mean it in a nice way. Like, damn, you got a nice body. The difference with them is like night and day. And you like the afternoon. I knew way after we shared all the latest, like seconds of the next, we're in with you. Hey, this what we gotta do. Baby girl, that's what we gotta do. You say you made me come, I say you crazy, cause ladies come first and I'm after you. Cause if I come first, then that be the worst, and I could prefer change your attitude. Before we get here's what I had to do. Before we get here's what I had to do. Give me your number, I give you mine. We can exchange like another time. And if our souls ever intertwine, in the end, I guess that you are mine. But in the end, if we end as friends, listen here, girl, I am cool with that. Been through a lot, I get through all that. Ain't nothing strange we could do with that.
As soon as I step in the party, the DJ's playing my jam. Goddamn, oh man.
3 different amazing sounds came together to just really, like, you gave us a function in our ears. Like, from just the overall calling your man's like, yo, get your ass over here, stand at the door, to just chopping at the end. That it caught me off guard, but I love it so much.
Thank you.
Like, I know you guys love it because every time y'all perform, y'all go crazy.
Fun. It's so fun.
Tell me how it came together.
Shout out to everybody involved. There were so many people involved. There was Mojo, there was Dewan, there was Brylan, there was Moody, and there was myself. We were all in Mojo's room. And Mojo was like, hey, I'm working on this mixtape called Channel Your Mojo. And I love Mojo. Yeah. She's incredible.
Shout out her. I interviewed her too.
She's incredible. Everybody involved is incredible. And she said she needed the function song. And I was just like, bet. And this is around the time where, like, I didn't believe in myself. So I was just like, all right. And so pretty much she's like explaining the vibes to us. Dewan makes the beat in like 15 to 20 minutes because he's a genius. And we're all looking at each other like, this is the one. And then, like, she just starts. And then Moody catches her vibe. And then the hook is laid. We're just like, oh, shit. And I was just like, all right, bet. How could I, like, make this more visual? And so, like, I was thinking of albums like Good Kid, Mad City. Like, I've never been to Compton, but I felt like I lived there. When I listened to the album. It's like... He
definitely transported you to that moment, like with him, like calling his mom, calling his phone, like, "Yo, you better bring my pizza."
Yo, shout out to Kendrick. He's one of my favorites. He changed my life.
I love that project so much.
Yeah, "Sing About Me" is my favorite Kendrick song. But pretty much, I was like, "Yo, I'll be there." You know what I mean? So like the theatrics. Yeah. And then it just came to me, like the whole verse, and then like when I did it, because I don't write my verses down. I used to work at McDonald's. I hated that job. I was 18 and I was trying to pay for like freshman year of college. And they always had like great samples, great music that eventually became samples. It would be like an old playlist and it would just blast throughout the whole restaurant. And like I wanted to escape. So what I would do is like while I'm like cleaning up or doing whatever, I'll just start writing melodies in my head at the job because I couldn't pull out a pen. And then eventually it just became a muscle. And then in high school, I used to freestyle. So when that correlation happened and I realized that Jay-Z didn't write, Lil Wayne didn't write, I was just like, okay, I'm not alone. And then I just like really harnessed it. So I'm just walking, pacing Mojo's bedroom, just whip it like a Ricky Buff. And they're just like, keep going. And then we just lay it down and it just becomes 10 at the door.
Wow, so organic.
Yeah, and like the beauty about music is like a lot of songs take like a year to pop. So I'm excited to see what 2019 does with 10 at the door. Because once the world hears it, I feel like it's going to be a problem.
It's going to go crazy.
Thank you.
Like, I think 2019 has big things for that song.
Yeah,
me too. Into the air now.
Me too. Amen.
Going back to you reading. So your song Langston Hughes. When I heard that song, I was like, well, first when seeing the title, I'm like, he must read. He has to. Then hearing it, like you had Metamorphosis on it. And that just shout out to her.
She's incredible.
Oh, she's so amazing. And it just shows me how small of a world it is. Like I met her at like this women's empowerment vision board thing, and like since then I followed her and like listened to her poetry, like her spoken word. She's amazing. So how did you bring what you brought to that song? And what made you think like, ooh, like I need her on here and I need her to open it?
So being in a PWI, it did a lot for me. One, it challenged my blackness on like on a level that I've never experienced.
I had a racist experience up Towson.
Yeah, you were probably only there for like a day.
Yes, literally homecoming.
I was there for 5 years. It was just racism, and it was blatant, and it was in your face, and it it was undercover and it was in the curriculums and it was in the class structures, and you just look around and like I felt like I was in Everybody Hate Chris.
Yikes.
It's like, yo, I am like the only black man wearing tennis shoes in this business school right now. Wow. Holy shit. Everybody had Sperry's and what's up, dude, and shit like that. And if that's your wave, that's your wave. Like, but it was just like I felt alone.
Yeah.
And the samples, give me what democracy look like. Yeah. So that was from the Baltimore Uprising. Part of the reason why I became a super senior was I failed 2 courses.
Everyone's been there.
Oh yeah, I failed a lot of courses, but these two in particular, because I'm just not a school type of guy. I just want to perform.
I feel that. It just wasn't for you.
It wasn't. I was the fish that was trying to learn how to fly.
How do you maintain such great energy?
2 sentences. Like, I literally do that before I perform. I'm the same way. I'm like in my head, like, you're here. People are here to hear your music. Give them a show.
Enjoy it. Yes.
Yeah, because like I said, I used to run from things.
Anxiety.
Oh yeah, and my anxiety is like really high a lot because it's like as I'm doing well musically, I still got student loans. I still got a job I don't like. There's like certain factors I'm like I can't wait to like completely fix. But it's just the understanding that it would take one day at a time.
Yeah.
Just a lot of compassion for myself.
What's one of your favorite things about performing?
The therapy of it, understanding that like y'all don't have to be here if y'all don't want to be here. So it just forces me to give it my all. The best thing is when I watch like strangers transform into fans. Last week, somebody was like, yo, they literally just found out about me day of, you know, and it was just like, yo, I love your song Camry so much, I'm gonna name my Camry Kassim.
Oh
yeah, that was the first time I ever heard that, and when I tell you, I smiled. Like I stopped everything I was doing. It was like the little Grinch, you know what I mean? It was just like
it lighted your whole day up.
It lighted my whole, and like the self belief I had right after that, I'm still riding that high. So it's just like the affirmation. That's another thing I love. Pretty much, I'm working on a lot of music. I'm working on new merch. I'm working on just pretty much like getting more people involved. Just having more meetings with people and just like understanding that like I'm becoming an entity now, which is all I wanted. So I'm just understanding like what it takes. Prepping for travel because it's time to leave the stoop. It's just like what ends up happening is just like you start bubbling up enough and then you just get known and then the world just wants to see you. So I'm just really just excited to connect with as many like Kassim fans that I can. So I'm just trying to like just do everything the natural way. But I got a new single coming out called Steezy Wonder that I'm going to show you after this.
Yeah.
And I believe in it so much. 'Cause I feel like all I need is one record. And then with that one record, by God's grace, is this one. Then the name picks up. And once the name picks up, they're like, oh, he got this song called Camry. And then that shoots up. Oh, he got a song called Candy Powers. Oh, 10 at the Door. And then it just becomes like a catalog. And then instantly, they're just going to be like, oh, this guy's for real.
Yeah.
I have like set producers now. Shout out to Dewan Crooks.
Shout out Dewan.
Dewan Crooks is a genius.
So talented.
Shout out to Johnny Lama. He did Camry. He did Toonami. He did Lyrical Liberation. He's a genius.
Very talented.
One of my engineers, Stephen Padilla, he also produces and he raps. So Stephen Padilla, he did Steezy Wonder. He's a genius. Then I work with an orchestra sometimes. So then like certain members of them, they'll be like, okay, I have a bass line. I'll do this.
Let's touch on that real quick. That orchestra moment was so cool. Like not only the orchestra moment, but you also performed at the Arboretum.
Yeah,
like,
yo, we broke the record.
Amazing.
It's so tight.
How did that happen?
So, yo, God bless this lady named Cam. God bless Cam. Pretty much Cam and Marcus, they went to school together. And Cam was the president of NAACP at Towson. And so she booked the whole orchestra. And I had this song. And the song's coming out later this year. So I don't want to give too much details because it's like one of my hit makers that is going to come. I can't wait. I love that song. I love that song. It took me 5 years to make. That was it's the longest song I ever took. But the reason why is because the resources, it's beautiful. I'm going to talk to you about it afterwards.
Okay.
But pretty much we met through her at Towson, performed this said song that I'm talking about, and we just connected. And they went to UMD, and I'm from the College Park area, so it's just like I know the people you be around, and it was just a beautiful thing. And like that was years ago, and since then we've just been growing and growing and growing. And it's beautiful because it forced me to become a better musician. It forced me to become a better teammate. It forced me to become a better performer because it's like really theatrical. There's no like cuts. It's just like everything is live. You know what I mean? So I can't like rely on like a sound bite to like. It's just beautiful, and I really believe in it.
Like it's raw, like
it's
that.
Raw.
The performances are very, very raw. Like,
it's raw,
and it's real music being
created. And I feel like it's a cool. I don't like using this term as a negative way. I just like to use it as an asset. I feel like it's a cool niche because what it does for me personally, it allows me to express myself in different spaces.
Yeah,
you could get me backed up by a DJ, or you could get me backed up by like a 20-30 piece orchestra. You know what I mean? And it's just like
pick what you want.
Pick what you want. And it's like the spaces that it occupies, they're incredible. Like it was Kennedy Center, it was the Arboretum. Next month we're gonna announce it, but it's gonna be a Smithsonian. It's just like the bags with the orchestra are just really elegant. So like I could imagine like Sydney Opera House eventually, and like Coachella, and like because it's like when people hear it, they're like, what is this? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like it's really inspired by like my musical background and like Late Registration or My Beef Dark Twisted Fantasy or just all these albums that have strings and have like harps and all these things that made me want to like experiment with orchestra. Listening to Kingdom Hearts, like the Lion King soundtrack, like it just feels really. I can't wait. I believe in it.
How did you get involved with 20 Never, and what is 20 Never? Like, explain what you can about it.
I got you. So, I love 20 Never. So, pretty much we all went to high school together. They were my best friends. And we used to just, we used to just rap in the hallways. And that's where I got, like, my freestyle raps up and my performing raps up. And pretty much we just grew up and we just kept making music and kept making music. And we were in this group together and it didn't work out. And so Facing came up with the name 20 Never as a joke because his music wasn't coming out. And one of his family members was like, yo, when is your album dropping? He said, man, the top of 2000 never. And we all like, that's hot. Like, that's fire. So at first, 20 Never was called 2000 Never. And he was like, nah. So it's a year that would never exist. It's a moment that would never happen again. It's a moment that's happening right now. You know what I mean? Like, it's pretty much a reminder that this conversation, even how great it is, on this exact date of January 19th, there would never be another January 19th, 2019. So you got to, like, live in the moment. You got to be present.
I was just going to say, that goes right back to us talking about being present.
Yeah, and so I just live by it, you know? And it's a record label of 5 different people. You got Hassani, you got Baptized, you got Just Keys, you got Facing, and you got myself.
Wow.
Yeah.
Shout out to 20 Never.
Shout out to 20 Never.
Awesome name. Very
Thank you.
Awesome name.
Thank you.
I want to wrap this amazing interview up. First of 2019. I'm so happy. I'm so excited to launch season 3. Kick self-doubt and fear.
We got this.
Out of here.
One day at a time.
Yes. What do you want to leave this interview with people? What's one thing you want people to know about you?
That I'm not perfect and that I'm finding myself.
Same.
Because a lot of conversations people have with me now, it's like they see my Instagram, they see my Twitter, and they think like everything is like magic. And it's like, it's not. Realistically speaking,
it's hard work.
It's hard. And it's just like not only hard work in the sense of like having a job, but it's hard work as in like convincing myself that I'm good enough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because a lot of it is like my anxiety picks up. Like when I did Kennedy Center, at the time, that was the biggest crowd I did. And like when I tell you the deep breaths I had right before someone on that stage, you were like, like I was like literally like behind the curtains, just. But like when I get out there, you know, everybody's like, what? And I'm like, all right, bet, so I belong here. But it's just understand that like you belong.
Yes.
You do belong. You know what I mean? And you just gotta embrace it with like integrity.
Yeah.
And just like a pure heart. Like the world is fucked up. There's gonna be horrible people that cross your path, but don't get too jaded.
Facts.
Protect yourself, but don't get too jaded. Because a lot of my issue was I had such a guard up musically because in my life I've been effed over so many times that people couldn't connect with me.
Yeah.
Because they didn't know who I was. They knew who I sounded like the first couple years, like, oh, you remind me of Drake. Oh, you remind me of this person. Oh, you remind me of that person. But until like I let that guard down, it's like you don't remind me of anyone but yourself.
Yeah.
So it's like whatever you do, just be yourself. It's cliche, but it works.
Always.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you. Yo, this is lit.
If my